act as per dharma. Dharma dharati iti dharma. Dharmam tu sakyat bhagavat pranitam. The creator knows how this purpose of the creation will be fulfilled. So creator, the supreme personality of Godhead, has set everything to follow the path of Supreme Lord. Mama Vartmanu Vartante Manusyaha Partha Sarvasaha. So this order of Varna and Ashrama, like Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these three order are educated or directed or guided by the Brahmana. Brahmana should be very conversant in understanding the religious principles, the purpose of human form of life, and should guide the Kshatriyas, Sudras as well as Vaishyas. However, a Kshatriya should rule as per the guidance of a Brahmana. Swarthagati is the principle of natural tendency of enjoying for sense gratifications, being owner of the material nature, whatsoever possible. When a king again fall in the trap of this, whether a king or a father or a guru or a husband, all have similar role to maintain, guide, and facilitate the subordinate toward Krishna consciousness, towards the meaning and purpose of life. The real problem of human form of life is that we have forgotten our relationship with Krishna and we are not acting as per the relationship with the Krishna. And so we are unhappy in the material world. We are not getting the transcendental bliss. Due to lack of transcendental bliss, we are searching happiness here and there, which is not the true place. In return, it is not giving happiness but more perplexity, more bondage, more dilemma, more confusions. And because of that, we repeatedly commit mistakes, sins, adharmas, and foolishly chewing the chewing gum which is already chewed, and no happiness is derived from that. So, king especially is representative of Vishnu, should think in terms of Krishna consciousness. So, his ministers all should remain very advanced religious leaders or spiritual leaders who can guide the civilizations, guide the king how to rule. Due to natural tendency that the governmental positions, political leaders, they all are going to the positions to fulfill their selfish intentions, to get followers, and to get their interest being fulfilled. You can see nowadays any kind of road work, anything happens. How much percentage real work is happening? How much percentage these peoples are cheating for their own selfish interest? With that, you can understand that all are so interested in Swarthagati. How can they do any benefit? to them, to the society, and to the ultimate meaning and purpose. So these people who are in Swarthagati, they cannot elevate themselves in their next life. They have to go to the animalistic life because of not knowing the purpose of human form of life. If somebody simply wastes the life, is entitled to enter into the animal forms, not the human being. Dharmena vihina pasava samana. Dharma to adhika vishesha. That is the special characters in human being, that he has a special capability of maintaining dharma. If he is lacking that, and what is that dharma? Dharma is the intrinsic quality. He is the part and parcel of God. So he has that meaning and purpose is to remain in the relationship with God. So in material life he has forgotten. So he should follow all that process which can lead there to understand the meaning and purpose and to act in the relationship with God and enjoy the transcendental bliss of love of Godhead. So misuse of power by the king is always happening. It is because that people are in interest of taking ownership for sense gratifications over others. Being a king, so here especially mentioned that Rahugana is thinking that everybody is for their enjoyment. And that is the spirit in everyone. Everyone is thinking that everyone else is for their enjoyment. If Guru thinks that Sisya is for his enjoyments, wherever he can utilize, no. Sisya, if somebody is becoming Sisya, it's for the satisfaction, for the pleasure of Krishna. But Sisya can think that yes, Guru is as good as Krishna. But a Guru should not think himself that Sisya is for my pleasure. So it's about everyone's positions, everyone's consciousness. Consciousness is the basic principles that should be driven by the relationship with Lord. Consciousness should be replaced with the selfish interest of enjoying the world, forgetting Krishna. The consciousness should be filled that all that enjoyment which I can derive is only from the relationship of God. This human form of life has been given with a systematic machinery which is driven by the gunas, the modes of mental nature. So, what are the modes of mental natures? Like, what are the neurons? How this flows happens in a scientific mind? We can synthesize all that. I'm going more deeper today to this consciousness levels through the biological study. What happens? Which neurons? So this, are you able to see my screen now? Yes, screen is red. Is not able to see. So from touch to emotion, the pathway of connections. What happens from these sensory perceptions? Whenever we interact with various senses, there are various kind of sensations that happens. Can be light touch, can be deep pressures, can be tactile fiber, gentle touch, or pain or temperature, etc. That is transmitted through glutamate signals to the spinal cord. In spinal cord, in brain, this process happens. So brain has these three things: thalamus, somatosensory cortex, and automatic nervous system. So thalamus forward it for evaluations of emotional response. Is the signals that we received through the spinal cord. Is it safe and good? Is it bad? All these evaluations happens. For that, it refer from the hippocampus memories, the stored histories of memories, histories of similar events, such events, and prefrontal cortex do the reasoning. It analyze various reasoning. So accordingly, the whatever evaluation results comes based on that amygdala transfer it for reward circuits. So it is a percentage. It is not same always for different actions. Different percentages of rewards are there. Which is very high reward will have high dopamine. This is low reward, low dopamine, and gradually these five hormones are for rewards. If there is fear or danger, then amygdala give different responses through that heart rates get increase or decrease, muscles get extra glucose, extra energies, all this happens. Breathing, skin responses, all this happens at fear conditions or at reward conditions, both this. So this flow of hormones, neurotransmitters, oxytocins, dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, vasopressins, or the release of cortisols to be ready with this is a electro bio signal, bioelectrical signals. So this bioelectrical signals actually give us some flow of behavior, but the interpretations is varying. What this flow of behavior happen from the thoughts to emotional generations? Where is the identity or consciousness in picture? So here you can see the conscious actions and the neurotransmitter electrical bioelectrical signals from skin to nerve. These somatosensory systems, they help in detecting thoughts, pressures, pain. Spinal cord to brain, this somatosensory systems with automatic actions from thalamus, insula, or dorsal column that maps where, what happened, what is that feeling. That evolutions happen in the spinal cord to brain. Brain evaluate with the limbic cognitive systems. So amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex is in this front side. So that is the calculated or evaluator to give the meaning of actions, checks the safety and meaning. Emotions and pleasures are further derived if the action is defined as safe and have good reward systems. Then this limbic plus reward systems through the nucleus accumbens, VTA, and hypothalamus releases neurotransmitters such as oxytocin, dopamine, endorphin, serotonin, vasopressins that generate further pleasure symptoms and bonding to the actions. Such actions we develop attachment that is called bonding. So in spiritual term it's called bandhana, karma bandhana. And pleasure that is derived is the sensory pleasure, pleasure in the senses. So this feedback system in every such neuroelectrical signals, bioelectrical signals, this process, there is a feedback system to the body, how the body will react. That is called body feedback. For that, there are motor neurons and automatic reflexive actions as well. So, motor neurons, heart and skins, especially the breathing rates, all this happen, are controlled by a neurotransmitter that name is acetylcholine that triggers physical responses to such bioelectrical responses. So then this feedback systems gradually creates the bondage and reward circuit of dopamine, oxytocin for bonding. It is good, safe. And those who are having surprising, they are having a greater neural network. Any event which is very surprising, very fearful, very unusual is easily gets remembered. Usual events are not get easily remembered because the strength of the neural network are more when the event is very unusual or very surprising. So that's how the flows happens in these neural networks. So what is this? All we discussed as gross body. The scientific evidences we now discussed is all gross body, right? So how this gross body are controlled? How this flows, symbols, all this like behaviors, this meaning, this reverse circuit creations, how they are controlled? Are they same for every two persons? How a person's in the mentality of Sudra, of Vaishya, of Kshatriya, or of Brahmana, or a Vaishnava. You see, same neural, same impulse, same neurotransmitter, same amygdala, same prefrontal cortex. If you see their structure, some might have little more vitamin, little less vitamins. So somebody have might be better developed, somebody have little less developed. But all these are developed almost equal level. And if you find the physical level or the physical uh, portions of these neurons, neurotransmitters, or the neural networks, the brains, this amount of the dopamine, amount of oxytocins, uh, acid, acetylcholine, vasopressin, all this you calculate, you will find many of the people have same level. So if you see all 140 crore people in India or in world, around thousands crore of the people, you will find that most of the people, like the percentage of the people, see equal level of these chemicals are present. The levels are same, right? So you have, suppose you have 100 milligram, others is also having 100 milligram of same neurotransmitters, right? Same amygdala, same hippocampus, same neural network. But why there is a difference? Why it is so subjective? Why two people act differently in the same situation, same impulse, same signals, same neurochemicals, everything same of persons? It is not two-person. In that same status, physical status, you will find crores of the peoples are in same, but all these crores peoples are differently behaving, differently reacting on this. Why? So then comes the influence of the three gunas: mind, intelligence, and ego, or the identity based consciousness is the subtle body who is gives the meaning to all this. That is the conscious decision. So mind, when a person is calm and clear, so his emotions will be positive. At that same instance, a person who is influenced by rajas or passion will have agitated emotions, and a person in ignorance who will be confused, will be dull, will will get negative emotions in that. So mind can give positive emotions, can give agitated emotions, or can give negative emotions, varying of the mood from goodness to passion to ignorance. Passionate people's, their natures are more desiring and restlessness. So their emotions get agitated. And what is the positive emotions? Is calm and clear. But yet he has the attachment to the false ego or false identity, self-interest. But who is in Shuddha Sattva? What will be his thought in this? What will be his reflections in this? Everything is energy of Lord Vishnu. Because his essence is that he is part and parcel of Krishna. The Sambandha is not forgotten. Even though in Sattva, Raja and Tama, Sambandha is forgotten. Tama fully forgotten. Raja also forgotten. Sattva also forgotten, but somehow is in knowledge, can have remembrance, but not acting in remembrance. Shuddha Sattva act in remembrance of God. So see everything as energy of God. So even though he may involve in such acts, but he is not developing attachment. He is not developing wildly positive emotion or agitated emotion or negative emotions. He is developing bhava. नास्तिर्भाव जुक्तस्य न चाजुक्तस्य भावना न च भावयतः शान्ति अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम नास्तिर्भाव अजुक्तस्य. So here you see the mind reflected through sattva, raja, and tamas. Same event give positive emotion, agitated emotion, or negative emotions. However, the mind of the Vaishnavas, it gives bhava, the relationship with God. While doing such engagements, he is dedicating and the result is meant to please Krishna. This is the scientific journey to synthesize between the science and spirituality and get the essence of human form of life. So the intelligence which generate wisdoms and insights, if you are remaining in the mode of sattva, it gives good judgment. Ego, which the identity in even sattva guna give humbleness, awareness, but there is subtle pride. So the remembrance and the bhava, the feeling with the Lord, the loving relationship with God as Sakha Bhava, Dasya Bhava are not manifesting. So then this motor, neuron, heart, skins, all these are waiting to know the conscious decisions. What is the conscious decisions? It can change, it can control, it can regulate, it can stop at the peak moment. Those who are in Suddha Sattva, Vaishnava, who are completely guided by the relationships of the God, are in bhava. They are fully regulated. These senses, motors, neurons, these neurotransmitters cannot drive him. He can drive them. That is the difference. But a Sattva Guna has more control. Rajaguna, not controlled, driven by that. Tamo ignores, is the negative emotions, is completely dull and clouded, so poor in discrimination's power, is mostly influenced by laziness and apathy. Whatever physical response triggers is driven by that, and he can cause dangerous activities in Dhamma. That's how we should know that how in same sensory inputs the response is varying by a pure devotee who is self-realized and an ordinary person who is materially interested for sense enjoyment. So sensory perceptions, first thing of a devotee, he must see it is the energy of Krishna. Like here in this case, king should see that everything is energy of Krishna. So therefore, Krishna's pleasure, not for my pleasure, right? So his intention to act to please Krishna. So here the king should engage them, not to carry their plan in their own comforts, but to engage in the service of Krishna. Same is for every leader, be a father, be a guru, be a teacher, whoever he, his intention to engage them in pleasing Krishna. So that's how a pure devotee remain calm, serene, develop love and compassion. The main symptom of the pure devotee is that in every activity, the love and compassion is the driver. And that love and compassion, not ignoring Krishna, knowing that the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna resides in them. So those bodies are as good as a temple, because where Krishna resides, that is like a temple. And being the responsibility to cleansing the temple, he act in a way with love and compassion to to do the betterment of the citizens. So this outcome will bring inner happiness, fulfillment, love, emotions, and deep relationship and remembrance with Krishna. That is the activity of your devotee. Once somebody is elevated to these positions, he is eligible to become the representative of Vishnu, whether a king, whether a political leader, ministers, or a husband, or a teacher, or a guru, or a father, or a mother. That is the essence to understand. But ordinary persons fall in the praise of this personal enjoyment, the flows of sensory perceptions driven by these neurochemicals is uncontrolled to him. He is restless, agitated, acts for own benefit, and influenced by desire and fear. Fear and desire, the driver. Sometimes due to desire, sometimes due to fear, sometimes due to both. So these people, in ordinary people who is ignorant about the relationship of God and not acting in relationship of God, they are influenced by or are suffered by the temporary pleasures and emptiness in returns, and the life of liberations and bliss is never achieved. So, what is the essence? That we must take up this path of following from material dilemma, material suffering to spiritual realizations by accepting this process of bhakti yoga, by seeking truth through genuine shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivruti, and gradually transforming to a steady devotional platform where we continuously remember Lord and act in that with a feeling, with a love and emotions for Krishna. That is the roadway for peace and fulfillment. Otherwise, ordinary people end with this attachment, fear, and dissatisfactions throughout their life. That is the nature of this human form of life. Unless they are guided by the pure consciousness, it's not possible. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any questions? No questions? Giri Prabhu, you have any questions? Are you all attentively hearing this? So you understood everything? Okay. Can someone read the quotations? Manjula Mataji is not there, right? Who is having the quotations? Okay, so we can conclude today. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गुरु महाराज श्री श्रीपाद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद, हरि हरि बोल।